We've been talking all day about Bruce Jenner's big transformation. Meet Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn is on the cover of the July issue of Vanity Fair, photographed by the renowned photographer Annie Leibovitz, and the spread is called Call Me Caitlyn. Vanity Fair also taped an interview with Jenner during the photo shoot. Take a listen.
The last few days of doing this shoot was about my life and who I am as a person. It's not about the fanfare. It's not about people cheering in the stadium. It's not about going down the street and everybody giving you that a boy, Bruce, pat on the back. Okay? This is about your life.
Here now with more on the magazine cover and that shoot is Entertainment Tonight correspondent Nischelle Turner. Hey, Nischelle.
Hello.
What's
Hi, Vlad. How are you
happening?
doing?
What's happening?
Not much.
This is Caitlyn Jenner making her big debut in a very big way with Vanity Fair. Why did she go that route instead of waiting for her docuseries?
You know, that's a good question. And first of all, I think the easy answer to that is Annie Leibovitz and the cover of Vanity Fair.
I mean, there's really no other magazine, right? There's no other.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of another place where she could do this. Maybe People, but this is a prestigious magazine.
Yeah, it's prestige. Vanity Fair is like the top of the food chain when it comes to those magazines, besides like a Vogue. So when Vanity Fair approaches you and says you can be shot by Annie Leibovitz and you have your big coming out that you've been wanting to, you know, show the world who you are, then you take that opportunity. And I think if she, and this is something that I'm learning, I mean, we are now supposed to call her Caitlyn, and she is a she. So yesterday, it was still Bruce Jenner. Today, it's Caitlyn Jenner. So we're still all getting adjusted to the new pronouns. But when you are faced with that, if you do it on the docuseries, then she would have looked a little more orchestrated, like now I have a big reveal. Here, I think it's classier. It's more of a statement piece because these pictures will live on. And it's a chance for her as well to continue to tell her story in the video and in the interview.
You know, a lot of people, Nischelle, have been talking about the timing. This is happening the day after the Keeping Up with the Kardashians announcement that Kim and Kanye are having their baby. But these things presumably take a long time to set up. Booking Annie Leibovitz, even if you're Caitlyn Jenner, is probably not something done on the fly, right?
Listen. The Kardashian-Jenner machine is a well-oiled one. We know that. They love a camera. We know that. Kris Jenner loves to orchestrate things. We know that. She is the best at it. But I will say you're right, because usually in a magazine, things are planned at least 3 months in advance. So they're usually planning covers 3 months out. Presumably, they probably went to Bruce Jenner and said, hey, after you've done this interview with Diane Sawyer, you know we want to see her at some point. So why don't we do it here on Vanity Fair, on the cover of Vanity Fair? What do you think about that? And that was probably done 3 or 4 months ago to plan out for this. Coinciding with the end, the finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians and all of that. I think that it's probably feasible for us to think that it was a bit of a coordinated effort. It did kind of overshadow Kim's news today.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, her big news of baby number 2. But this, I think, is also, in a lot of ways, a learning lesson and teaching moment for all of us. So, you know, it's kind of fitting as well.
I wonder, you know, we've been seeing a lot in the press. The Kardashian family is very supportive, and as have been his kids, Caitlyn's her kids, Caitlyn's kids. But I'm curious. Her kids are not going to be a part of that docuseries. I've read reports of that. Any reason or any insights into why they may not want to be? I mean, when I think that Brody Jenner's not up for some exposure, I'm pretty surprised. So, have you heard anything about that?
You know, not a lot yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Kardashian and Jenner children do make appearances in the docuseries. I know that they were touting this really as Bruce's journey and transition to Caitlyn. So I think that they did want this to be primarily about this journey of Caitlyn's, and to be primarily about what she went through in the 65 years of struggle to get to this place where she is now. But I don't think you can really do a docu-series. I think it's going to be 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, without including the family, especially on a journey like this. So I certainly wouldn't be surprised if we saw them.
Right. Let's talk about the internet now. This tweet
it's
that
broken.
we had, it's broken. It's completely broken.
Yes.
She beat President Obama. He had the last record of reaching 1 million Twitter followers. He did it in just under 5 hours. I remember when this tweet came out, we just had this tweet up. I'm so happy after such a long struggle to be living my true self. Welcome to the world, Caitlyn. Can't wait for you to get to know her, me. 1 million followers, fastest in Twitter history. I mean, people are just buzzing about this.
I was one of them. I hit follow immediately when I saw the tweet, so I, contributed to that quick 1 million of followers. But I think that it also shows you the power of social media. It shows you the power of Kim Kardashian West on social media, because she tweeted immediately, "Everyone please follow Caitlyn Jenner," and it skyrocketed like this. I think it went from 75,000 to 302,000 followers in a matter of a half hour. I mean, it was just that quick. So it does show you the power of Kim Kardashian West and a lot of other people. I mean, you had a lot of celebrities today coming out in support of Caitlyn Jenner, tweeting their support, retweeting the cover of Vanity Fair and Caitlyn Jenner's first tweet that she put out today. So that got a lot of pickup very quickly. And I do think that this has been really interesting, Vlad, because like I was just alluding to, I think that it's a teaching moment and a learning lesson for all of us. You and I have been struggling with the pronouns a little bit in this conversation. I think that there are a lot of people, especially in the heartland of America, that probably do have a lot of questions about this. And also, there probably are people out there who are still struggling in their own journey. So I hope that along with all of this, that the LGBT community and the transgender community can say, hey, we understand that not everybody can be completely 100% behind this right away, but let's open up the conversation, and maybe we all can evolve a little bit. Maybe we all can learn, and don't condemn people for having questions and may not really understand everything. Let's just talk about it. Let's start learning from each other and learning this journey and learning about the person that we thought we knew as Bruce, who really wasn't Bruce, and why this person exists. Let's learn about each other. Let's really do something here.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't put it any other way, Nischelle. In fact, we were just talking earlier before we started talking on air that we were both at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I had an opportunity to talk to Laverne Cox. This was on the eve of her discussion on ABC with Diane Sawyer, and she said, there will be a lot of lives that will be saved by somebody like Caitlyn Jenner coming out and talking about her transformation. I'm told in the control room we have a little bit of that conversation that we had with. Do we have that, guys? Let's play that a little. Nischelle, take a listen to this.
Janet Mock, that I think a lot of people tuned in expecting to see a spectacle, and they tuned in and saw a beautiful human being, a person who's a parent who cares deeply about their family. And I think what my visibility, the unprecedented visibility I've had over the past year has taught me is that visibility does matter. It can save lives. I've heard from so many young people who tell me that their lives have been saved because of my visibility. But visibility has not saved a lot of trans people's lives. A lot of us are still committing suicide, still being murdered at disproportionate levels, still experiencing job discrimination, housing discrimination, healthcare and healthcare discrimination. So there's so much more work that needs to be done in terms of policy and structural changes to make sure that trans lives really do matter.
Just some really beautiful and moving, eloquent statements there from Laverne Cox about how this transformation is going to empower so many people who perhaps before this may not have thought that they had any hope.
Well, think about this. First of all, Laverne Cox is fierce, okay?
Yeah.
I love her because she's fierce and she brings it everywhere she goes. But just think about this. I mean, this is 2015, and here we are talking about a man, now a woman, but a person that we once looked at as society as the standard of masculinity in the athletic world, and the gold standard when it comes to what we consider the measure of a man, you know, on the sport field. And now we're seeing this person really make a transformation and say, who you thought I was is never who I was. This is who I am, and I need you all to take this journey with me. This is such an opportunity for us to learn as a country. I mean, I think that it's phenomenal, and I think that it's a really interesting ride, and for her to do that, for all of us to see, is a brave, you know, it's a brave act. But it's also one that I think is necessary, especially when, like Laverne said, the suicide rate of transgender youths are so high, and the murder rate and being attacked, those things happen so prevalently in the transgender community, that I think that it's just really time and place for us to take another step as a country. I mean, LGBT and transgender rights, I think, are the new civil rights frontier. So I think it's really appropriate in this time and space.
Nischelle Turner, Entertainment Tonight correspondent, thank you so much for talking with us. Appreciate it.
Glad to, you're the best. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.